If you want to make rolling basses for tech house, melodic techno, progressive house or any other genre, keep watching. The first thing we need to do to make a rolling bass is, instead of having these notes, have the 16th, okay? Something like this, and have it like this. So we start having the rolling sound. Then if we add some sidechain, that pro tip, I recommend you to move this 2 to the left, so this way you avoid the first click that sometimes can happen. And if we put it with drums, we have this. Not bad, but it can be way better. The first thing we're gonna do is touch this, the swing. Basically, this knob, what it's gonna do is take some notes and move them left and right. Usually these two. If we don't have swing, it sounds like this. If I exaggerate it, it sounds like this. Okay, this is not good, of course, but try to look for a spot that you like. It can be really subtle, but something like 5-6% already adds a different vibe, you know, a bit more groovy sound. I'm going to say something I thought I would never say in my entire life, but Ableton is way better on this. You can add a lot of different types of swings that maybe fit better. Here you only have this one, FL Studio. You need to improve this. Anyway, I prefer to do it manually. What I'm gonna do is make the notes a bit shorter and take this one, move it a bit to the right, and this one a bit to the right also, maybe a bit different, and then replicate this. Now we have this rhythm. As you can see, it's way more groovy and it's better. But in the end, this is a pretty basic or standard rolling bass, which is not bad, it can work for your song. But sometimes you can go a bit farther and have something a bit more interesting or different. We can play with different octaves. You can take any note that you want, for example the second, you can take the third, you can take different ones and put it 1 octave higher, for example like this. Of course, you can do it maybe in just 2, or maybe like this, or maybe even have in different notes. That depends on you, but as you can see, the vibe is different. Another thing you can do instead of having the notes up and down is have a melody. For example, you can do something basic like take this one up and maybe this one down. But of course, you can combine these two. We can take these notes up and maybe let's raise these ones also. Nice, right? And it's simple. But what if we want to emphasize this? We want to go even a bit further and have different sounds in every note. Let me explain this. We can take this preset and with the velocity control different notes. Right now, if we play it, as you can see, we have a filter that opens and closes with every note. What we can do is take the velocity and put it here. Now, if you play it, as you can see, the filter is completely open all the time because the velocity is to the max or almost to the max. We can go down here in FL Studio and we already have the velocity. If not, click on velocity. And if we change this, basically now this is like controlling the filter and it's gonna sound different every time. For example, if you put it basically to the minimum, now it sounds like before. But what if maybe we put it here? It changes, right? So now, for example, what we can do is have it a little bit like this. If you click shift and then drag, you have the same velocity for all the notes. Like this that we had before, and maybe for example for this one we open it. On this one we open a bit more. Maybe on this one we open again, but not that much. And then here we can open the last 3, for example. So before, without the velocity touching the cutoff, it sounds like this, which is good, but after controlling the velocity, is way better, right? Last but not least, we can emphasize this rolling with a really simple drum that we had all the time, and it's the shakers. Here we have these shakers. But as you can see, they play in 16th notes, right? But as you can see, the bass is not playing here at the beginning. It's playing a bit later. What if we take the shaker and we do the same? And here also the same thing. Then we go from this to this. Maybe the difference is not that big, but if you pay attention, it helps. So in the end, we go from this to this. So guys, this is how you can create rolling basses for any genre. It doesn't matter what genre you produce, you can use these tricks. Let me know in the comments if you have any other ways or tricks for rolling basses, and see you in the next video.